Professor Brain Brown's research shows that vulnerability fosters good emotional and mental health. It is a sign of courage. We become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are feeling. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast is a space for scientists to tell their honest and authentic stories. I am your host, Sarah Nyakeri, who happens to be a scientist, informal science communicator, and I help scientists create personal websites. If you want to support this show, go to www.patreon.com/thevulnerable-scientist. You can also follow this podcast on all social media platforms at TV Scientist Pod. Hi everyone, welcome to the Vulnerable Scientist podcast. This is your host, Sarah Nyakeri, and today I have Edgar Kimani, right?
Yep.
So is there a specific way that you like your name to be spelled or said?
No, you've said it perfectly.
Okay.
Perfect.
Why do you have two English names?
David, is basically my mother's favorite name from the Bible. She liked King David, And then later on in primary, the name Edgar came when I was being baptized again.
Oh, Catholic.
Then I liked, there's this footballer who was called Edgar Davids, who was kind of blind. And then at that point, I thought, that guy is cool and he has a cool name. So it was added then. I insisted.
Oh.
So that's how the two names came to be.
Oh, nice. That's interesting. Okay, Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and everything that you feel that is an introductory about you.
Oh, it's nice. So, David, I tend to call myself a scientist because I like science. Science is what we live through. So I'm a food scientist, food science and technology. Currently an MSc at the University of Nairobi, but graduating in this year, September. So I'm done. And for now, I'm a trainer in food science and technology. And also on the side, I do some consulting in food science and technology and everything that pertains the food science. So basically I tell people, you know what? I'm a scientist first, Kenyan second, because scientists are international.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Should
What
be proud of me.
What do you mean by food science and technology? Like, could you explain to someone who doesn't know what that entails?
Oh, nice question.
Because the only thing that we know here is food.
And you know what? Majority of people, when you tell them you're a food scientist, the first thing that comes, oh, you're a chef. I'm like, no, not a chef. But until basically food science, it's a science of food. And what I mean by the science of food, it's we're talking about the chemistry of food, how to process the food, how to preserve the food. So basically, what I tend to tell people is, if you see what the food companies process, what you fetch from the supermarket, like common, even things like flour, things like margarine, those processing techniques to come up with a product. That is basic. That is a core mandate of food science, a food scientist. So it's bringing about it's the biology part and the chemistry part, and the science of food. Very totally different to
cooking.
Maybe some cooking, because cooking, well, it's cooking. But food science is the science itself.
So tell us the story of how you got here. How did you become a food scientist? Where did this journey start?
Actually, it started as an accident, I can say. I wanted to be a lawyer, actually. And then before my undergraduate, So we are choosing these courses. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. If lawyer didn't make it, an engineer. And then the last option was food science, technology. So when I got accepted, I was even curious. Are you telling me I'm going to be cooking at the university?
Oh, you didn't know about it?
I didn't know. Even me, I didn't know. Literally, I didn't know what I'm getting into. But the first year was basically rehashing high school work and some new things. But I started getting interested in food science as a career or as a course in my second year. That's when we started learning now the inner finer details. And that's where my interest picked up. But not so much until my postgraduate studies, when I actually went for the MSc in food science and technology. That's when I came to interact with other scientists, and I realized there is so much in food science that I didn't know, or other scientists what they are doing, their impact, things to do with food security. And I saw, wow, there is a whole new world opened for me. So that's when now my worldview changed completely. I was like, this is awesome. This is what I should actually put all my efforts in and be the best I can be out there in the field.
So what exactly did you do for your master's?
I took masters in food science and technology, and maybe if I can, and, it's actually there is something maybe I can say about postgraduate studies that happens when you get to the program. You tend to your worldview changes. It's not more about reading and passing exams, but synthesizing information and putting it out to people to see and to get what exactly you are saying. For instance, if say I'm talking about food insecurity and ways to reduce hunger and all those activities around the same topic. You see, I have to be broad and I have to think about the impact. So if I do such a project and how do I get the information out? And how do I get the people to actually buy into what I'm saying into a simple language? So that's the language of a scientist. It has to be simple, understandable, and so those are some of the soft skills that postgraduate has really, really impacted. That I can say it's now shaping my worldview, if I put it that way. It has expanded my knowledge base and has made me interested in even other sciences. Not per se, I'm narrow on food science, but I like to hear what other people are doing, what their research, what is their impact to local communities. It's interesting when someone explains what they're actually doing, and feel like a part of a huge community of scientists working towards a common goal, make our world better. In the end.
Okay. Could you tell us more about you growing up?
Oh, that's a nice one. Growing up, my home county is Kirinyaga. So basically my parents were civil servants, so I've lived in several towns in the original Central Province, I believe.
So that's in Kenya. Just to specify that for someone who doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, in Kenya. The original Central Province. But originally, I've grown majority of my life in Kirinyaga County. It's a cold area with lots of tea, coffee, and very rich in agriculture. So basically, I've been brought up in a rural setup, a rural-based setup, to maybe when I was in high school, that's when maybe I got to see the outer world. When you venture out of the villages.
Where did you go to school?
Several public schools, but there is this famous private school in Kirinyaga. There's a place called in Kagumo in Kirinyaga County. It's called Jufred Academy. The principal there, or the owner or the founder, she's one of the impactful people who have done a lot. Like majority of the guys from around our area, they pass through that academy. So it has a lot of impact on maybe my age mates and lots of kids after me who have gone through. So after that high school, I shifted to Muranga High School. You have heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Spent 4 years there. Good, grueling 4 years. After my journey in high school, I landed in Nyeri. Actually, I started my undergraduate in Kimani University. Good school, good engineering school, by the way. Then a postgraduate, shifted base again. My journey found me at the University of Nairobi, which is about to end in September.
Okay.
And now I'm hoping my journey takes me elsewhere for the next step.
Oh, you're hoping to do a PhD?
Yeah, the journey doesn't end. The journey continues.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh. So that's the education journey. Life summary.
Okay, so when you finished your BSc, did you get employment?
Oh, that was the toughest years after. It was tough. I spent like a whole year outside getting I didn't get nothing.
Were you applying?
You apply. You know, my story maybe it's more of the graduates in Kenya. The same story. You get out with a lot of hopes. Then several months after graduation, reality hits you. Oof. My God, what did I get myself into? Took a year actually to get even a simple job. By then, a year in after graduation, you just want to do anything. You don't care. And you don't want an office job. You don't want anything. You just want anything. First job was actually a hardware. Picking, was these guys who carry the goods to the vehicles and unload, park.
Mtu wa
mkono, that's the term. Did it for some couple of several weeks. Then I was lucky. I found as a job as a salesperson. Then I saw, okay, I'm heading somewhere. But then, to come to the theme, after doing the same sales job for like I think 9 months.
What are you selling?
Juices. To supermarket.
Door
to door, like basically supermarket. You see those guys who usually clean and make sure when you walk into a supermarket, everything is well arranged, everything is clean. Attendant, but basically I used to enter several shops.
Okay.
You take the orders, you arrange your goods, get out, go to the next shop.
So like the way I see some people who with your brand, like they're standing maybe a perfume, they're standing somewhere in the supermarket. So they come from the company. They're not like part of the supermarket. They come from the company, try to promote their product. Then when they're done with that, go to another supermarket, then arrange the products according to what they want to sell, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But it was backbreaking because Once you go like 3 shops or let me say 3 supermarkets in a day, by evening you are dead tired, literally, because you go here, you arrange, you go the next one, do the same thing, and in the middle of the day you're also jumping from one matatu to another. But then, after some point, I thought.
After 9 months.
After 9 months in, I thought maybe I should be vulnerable enough and brave enough. So actually, I resigned, and it was scary then.
Wow! Did you have a plan?
Actually, I didn't have a plan. That's how scary and is it
Why
crazy?
did you resign? What is that thing that made you to finally resign? Because I'm thinking it's not something that just woke up one day and decided to resign. You were thinking about it, right?
Yeah, I was.
What is that thing that made you to finally resign?
It was the working environment was extremely hostile. Let me say.
Wow.
Extremely hostile.
What do you mean?
It is a toxic work environment.
You don't want to go into that.
Still trying to protect the said company.
No names were mentioned. Were they? They weren't mentioned. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. The point is, in Kenya there's issues to do with the toxic work environment that is not talked about enough.
Okay.
And having experienced that, it's not a good place to be. Yes, you want to get paid. Yes, you want to pay bills. But with a toxic work environment, with no good, when your mental state is not there, even your personal life can deteriorate easily. So when it reached, as you're saying, it doesn't come that I wake up one day and you say, you know what, I'm done. But it's a point where you have to choose yourself or the job. So I thought, but the good thing, it was around December. So it was more, I get out, go to Christmas holidays.
That is back home to Kenyan.
Yeah, then think what to do next. But fate was on my side because during the holidays, someone I met challenged me if I could teach. Something I never thought I would do. And I say, you know what, even I don't have a job now, let me give it a shot. So January, I come back. And the moment I met the head of department.
You met this person who challenged you to take a teaching job.
A teaching job, and it was a part-time job.
Okay.
And mind you, up to that point in my life, I never thought I'm someone who can actually teach. So it's a new thing. So I'm like, what the hell? Let me see what it is. So I go in January, go see the head of department at this technical college, and he says, we are short of trainers. Could you handle some few food science courses? And I say, why not?
Oh, college.
Yeah, okay. College. And I say, why not?
So and how many months after graduation is this at this point?
That's 2 years later.
Okay. So you take up the courses.
So I take up some few courses. I say I can do microbiology here, some maths here, there. So the first class I go, so I go on a Monday. And the moment I walked in, I don't know if you've ever been in a place. You walk in, and then you feel, oh my God, I'm home. This is where I'm supposed to be. Like something, I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be, I walked to that class, the first lesson, without prior training or going to any training college to learn how to teach. And I look at the students and they look at me. But then I felt so at home. And I knew, this is what I'm supposed this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I get into that part-time job. So we are paid by the hour. Maybe in a week I do like 24 hours. Those are like six lessons, here and give or take. Until when I become so good at it, at the teaching, then my parents tell me, by then why don't you go back to school and maybe advance to your masters?
They're the one who challenged you to do that.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Were you thinking about it before?
I was thinking about it, but not with the seriousness it deserves.
Okay.
It's like, yes, I can, yes, I can't. Either way I do or I don't, I'm still okay.
Okay.
But at that point, when I get challenged, I'm like, let me go and just do it. So I enroll. And when I enroll, the first month was tough, going back to class after 2 years, sitting as a student, but you get through the hang of it. But what I can say, that semester happened. We happened to go to these seminars. I think there was this, I can't remember the theme of the conference. And it's the first time I actually interacted with so many scientists at the same room. And I felt challenged. I was like, oh my God, this is another place I got another oh moment after the teaching.
Yeah.
And up to that point, I never thought that I'd even consider doing a doctorate up to that point. But seeing what the presenters were doing, the impact, and then at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, I have that capability. I could do that. I'm here. Why not take the journey and see where it goes? So basically, I've done, just recently, I've just even handed over, published some papers here and there. I did research on cereals. Interesting. And in terms of food security, so it's the most impactful thing, as I was saying earlier about postgraduate. There's so many soft skills, scientific and even human skills you can grasp and be impactful in the scientific world, no matter what the other people say. It's a lot. It's a good impact.
We three kings of Orient are bearing gifts that traverse afar, fields and forests. We three kings of Orient are bearing gifts that traverse afar, fields and forests, vales and mountains. Yeah, that's the song that came to my mind when I was just stressed about this audio. So when I was recording this, I was not careful enough to check my audio, and it came out with a bad audio, and I've tried to structure it, and it has just, I don't know what has happened. There will be other episodes from other interviews that I've done with other people. And this includes Dr. Sonal and who's the other person? Why have I forgotten? And Ian Peter Busulwa. And Dr. Sonal is a bioinformatician, and she was at ILRI for a while, and now she's at Nottingham University, if I'm not wrong. Then the other one is a science communicator who is actually 25 years old and doing it great. He is part of the Science Africa team, and he's also part of Synbio Africa and also part of I can't remember, but the science communication branch of NARO. And I found him a very great guest in this podcast. You can now send a message on thevulnerablescientist.com, or you can review this show on any other platform that you're using to listen to this podcast. Until the next one, it's a bye for me.